Hello, Deck. Hope everything's well, mate. Well, Deck, you need to have a Brisca V8, mate, to to race these. Yeah, and travel around the country, mate. They don't race them at Wharton. Okay, Deck. So it's a real life series, mate. Real life drivers. So it's not something that anybody can book into. It's drivers that actually race. Although we know some of these drivers do race with us, don't they, occasionally? Yeah, it's a real life drivers series, Deck. I'm going to try and get to the safety area. I think some of these drivers are practicing a set off, possibly. We'll be starting the official commentary and build up to the meeting roughly about 10 to tonight, guys. 15, quarter to 10 to sort of time. So this is currently just the drivers having a bit of a practice. Hopefully, one thing I do need to do on my stream is make sure that don't want to do that. Right, apologies for that. I clicked the wrong thing there completely. Yeah, so I do need to make sure that party audio is turned on, so anybody in the party will also be able to share their audio. So I think drivers are just going to be trying different cars out at this stage. We don't want to quit out. I'm going to start the counting so that we can maybe get a couple more practices in before the drivers actually start. Oh, okay, we've had one jump in who shouldn't be in. We shall get rid of him. I need something a little bit bigger today so they can get round and out of the way. These drivers a bit quicker. They've got a bit further to travel to get out of the way. Oh, you can see the drivers have all gone in there very much no compromise into that first corner. You alright, Sean? Yeah, not too bad.
Awesome. There we go.
I've not officially started yet, mate. I've just got the practice on. I'm just wondering on what camera to use tonight. I might try the trackside one where it follows them round. It's such a big track that if I try and do it from one spot, you're not going to be able to see half the track.
No, you're not. You're probably better off trying to do it so you can follow them round. I mean, you could always fix it on one corner for the odd lap or something. Oh, it's good. Well,
we could try it, but
it's like a 15 lap race, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's quite a long race.
Yeah.
So. And this place, it's huge.
I tried from the middle looking up, and a lot of the trees and stuff get in the way, so you can't try it when not a fan of the track.
No, I prefer the little shale oval. They can run the little shale oval. I count the laps for them, no issues. Run that little shale one. That'll be mint round there. But no. It's actually a good place to do it there, to be fair, because you can actually count the laps properly with people watching it. Just a shame it's not an actual track.
Yeah.
I find it's there.
Try and run one round there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I've been in meetings.
It's weird,
but it's never very well run.
It's weird that they put it there though, and not. You'd have thought they'd have made a track out of it.
It's actually, this track is actually a real track. It's based on a real track. They took it out of the very track pack, and
right.
it was sort of just, they took it out and it's an abandoned track in real life. It's based on a track that's now closed down. And all they've done is, obviously, they can't copy a real track, so all they've done is edited it slightly. So that's why they put all the jumps and stuff on.
Yeah.
So it's not...
Right, I'm just going to nip to Lou, mate, and when I get back, we'll start the stream officially.
Yeah, no worries, no problems.
Right. Back. Are you there, mate?
I am here. I'm listening.
You're listening.
I'm here.
Right, we'll get something. We'll get something presentable, so we'll put it for the video afterwards.
Yeah, no worries. Have you done the last one? Last one yet?
I have actually. I just need to upload it, but with it being a double header meeting, it's
It's been tricky.
it's gonna. Well, I need a day where I can let the computer run for 4 hours and hope as it doesn't crash, you know.
Yeah,
to get it all up.
uploading the processing takes like an hour, doesn't it? YouTube.
That's
Rubbish.
the one, yeah.
No, sometimes it'll
That's the
run
one.
straight through, and then next minute it'll be like, I'm just gonna sit here and process now. It's like, what do you mean?
Right, we'll go for it. We'll go for a hard start. Hello, good evening, Brisca V8 fans. We're here tonight at Rockfield Roughspot. I've been worried about saying that all week. It's round 10 of the E Series, and it's the last one before the Gold Roof race next week. I'm your host, Twisty, and I'm joined tonight by my co-host, Sean136. Hello, Sean.
Hello, Twisty.
Are you well, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. I'm looking
Ready
forward to
for,
watching the drivers get over these jumps and bumps tonight around this big,
yeah, I
big
mean,
massive corner.
It's an interesting track, isn't it? It's like Stoke, Northampton, all rolled into one, really.
Yeah.
And it's it's bumpy, it's banked, it's different. Yes, it's an oval, so that's positive. It's not my favourite track, but it does provide a different set of challenges for everyone to overcome. Obviously, you've got like we said, there's some jumps on this which you'll see in the practice in a minute.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting
form
track.
book's going to go out the window here. And
Yeah.
it's just going to be about who can get over these jumps. So, do we know if we've got any motocross lads in? They probably have an advantage tonight. Especially down that back straight.
They were, yeah. And there is a certain way of getting around. I mean, obviously you've got two separate jumps. So one does provide a better landing than the other, and so it obviously can set you up better for the next corner. But it's all sort of hit and miss. What's sort of better, really.
That's it. That's it. Now I'm going to try and get out of the way of these lads that are having a practice. And by practice, it looks like some of them are practicing sticking each other in the wall, which is good to see. Looks like we might be getting some action tonight. We'll try and dive down the inside there and get to this little safe haven. Lovely little track. Always reminds me of this little track on the inside of. You remember at the start of Days of Thunder where they go and find. It's Coal Trickle, isn't it? Where they go and find him racing on that little dirt oval.
Yeah.
Always reminds me of that little one on the infield.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Shape-wise, it reminds me of Mildenhall. Size, it's tiny. It's just a nice little size.
So you was telling me earlier this track's based on a real-life track. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I believe so. Yeah, I think it was somewhere in Canada. I have read it somewhere at some point.
Okay.
Obviously, you've got the first, really, what only probably is real life about the track now is the first corner. The rest of it, they've sort of edited it so it's not anything like it anymore, which is a shame, really, because it would have been nice to have another oval, a big dirt oval, but a dirt oval nonetheless. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad track. From the very few times I've been round it, I quite enjoy it, and getting them jumps right, if you get them jumps right, it's no problem at all, but when you're trying to pass people as well as do them jumps, and they're just nudging into you a little bit, that's where things can go wrong. We can see in practice here, Jumbo's coming down the back straight, and there's Terry on his side, and Craig Thompson on his side.
Yeah, Rose
just makes things very tricky.
Luke Smith just went end over end, so he's having fun, obviously. It's I think as well with this track, we're just seeing there. The problem is when you do make a mistake, no matter health that you're going to lose as well, and with cars getting to collect you, it could be a matter of survival. This meeting very much so. That's sort of the way I see it.
Yeah, and. They're going to attempt to do 15 laps for the heats and 20 laps for the final. Now, we're currently on board with Matt Barnard, 6 laps in here, and he's already down to half health. So I think that backs up, really, what you said about surviving.
Yeah.
And most of these lads seem to stick with the Road Slayers and the Speed Demons, which are the faster cars, and the Road Cutters. But again, I'd be using one of the stronger cars, like the Star Beast, perhaps, or the Gatecrasher. That's another one.
Yeah, definitely.
Not as fast, but
sometimes that's maybe possibly. But sometimes that's probably a gamble you take, isn't it? With a track like this, you do want a faster car. It's hit and miss sometimes. I mean. I would probably personally pick a Star Beast for here. I think that would be my choice.
Yeah.
So, but it's a big track. It'll make things interesting for us watching wise, because with it being so big, it's does make for interesting viewing.
I'm going to try and keep the camera on the lead car. As you mentioned, with the size of the track, we can't see the whole of the track, so I'm going to rely on you to keep us up to date with what's going on further down the field.
Yeah. Bit like last
we'll try and switch.
With the figure of 8. This is probably hard to be fair.
If someone looks like they've got a good lead, we might leave them and try and find the action. But I think even a good lead on a track like this is not necessarily a safe lead.
Well, looking at the practice there's no surprises with Jim Slatter at the top and fastest lap. So it's probably could be a things to come if he keeps his nose clean and keeps himself out of trouble. He should be all right.
Yeah, so I'm going to mention to the lads that they can have one more short practice. We'll chuck it on 4 laps, and then we'll get going with the meeting.
Awesome.
So we're again on the 2-heat format tonight. Top 4 from each heat will be going through to the final, with the rest of them battling it out in the consolation to get into the final. The final tonight is going to be a very special final, and that's going to be the Brian Joe Jolly Memorial, but we'll mention a bit more about that nearer the time, just before that final. So I think these lads are definitely going to want to be in this final, and definitely going to want to win it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think something else to mention as well, I think we've already mentioned it tonight, it is the last final before the Gold Roof. So these lads are going to be trying to get them all-important points. I think first, second and third in the points are pretty safe at this time. I don't think there'll be much change in them. But fourth onwards is anyone's, really.
Right.
And you want to be closer to the front at the start of the World Final, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, but as you've seen with these lads, I mean, I don't think always starting at the front is always a good idea. Let's just see one flying to the fence there.
Terry's just been put in very strong there by the guys who were behind him first corner. I feel like practice for these lads is not so much about getting used to the track, it's more about getting used to hitting each other and
well,
trying to upset a few before the meeting even starts.
Decide are you going to hit for the rest of the meeting?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see a few rivalries continue from last week. There was a few interesting. To mention, with it being a double header, obviously things we did see some interesting action on track throughout the two meetings that we saw. So it'll be interesting to see if we anything from that. Any repeat?
Yeah. I was watching the PS4 lads on the Sunday night.
Yes.
They were doing the Hilltop Figure 8, and our very own Jim Slatter was racing with them. And I noticed Jim did a 29.1, I think, lap time, which was faster than what he managed on Xbox. I think on Xbox he did a 29.2.
Right.
But he didn't have as much luck as he did on the Xbox. He kept getting taken out.
Too brave on the crossover.
Very brave on the crossover, yeah. Yeah, I did try sending him a message and just giving him a bit of a
friendly
sort of advice on maybe slowing it down for the crossover, and his reply was he just keeps it flat out. So that's fair enough.
Yeah. You know, as the legendary Colin McRae used to say, if in doubt, flat out, isn't it? You know, just keep it,
right,
just keep it pinned. It all seems to. Well, I say it always pay after it, you know, not always.
Well, I mean, I remember, was it '96 he won his rally championship? I used to love watching Colin McRae drive.
He did, but he also gave away another one back. I think it was 2003. I could be wrong around that. He was driving the Focus, and he all he had to do was finish all he had to do was finish, and he wrecked it. And because he was driving, because they told him to slow down, and he didn't. And he did the same for the Dakar Rally as well. He was leading that by a massive amount, and he wouldn't slow down, and he crashed it and lost. So you know, he could have been a multi-champion, but I think that's why people liked him, because he never backed off. And it showed the sort of driver he was. Didn't matter what he was doing or
yeah.
He was never willing to back down. It's just not in
some people's nature, is it, to slow off?
No. Doesn't matter if you go, oh, I've got a comfortable win here, you know, that doesn't matter. I want to keep going. I want to go faster and faster and faster, and, you know, and break records, and so maybe that's Jim's style.
It certainly looked like it on the Sunday night, I must admit. Right, so
Fantastic.
we are going to try and get heat number 1 underway, and we're just going to go through the drivers. So we've got Terry in, and we've got Matt Barnard in, yep, and Sean Bowman. I don't think he's in.
Nope, I've not seen him.
So we'll just try and send him a quick invite, see whether he's online. He's showing offline, which is never a good sign. But we'll send him a quick invite anyway. Shadow Luke is in, that's Luke Smith. Ollie, any sign of Ollie?
He was on before, I think. Yeah, he's in. Luke's in. Shadow Luke's in.
Yeah, Luke's in, yeah. Ollie's the one we're looking for, Ollie Spencer.
Oh, Ollie Spencer. Oh, right, sorry.
That's okay. And Craig Thompson, yeah. Red Shed. Obviously, yeah, he's going to be looking forward to this track tonight, no doubt. Hot Rod Gaz is in, and Slick is in. So, All's Dude is a new driver tonight, and Marcus is back. Both of them were late bookings.
Which one's
so
that?
We'll just find out whether they're going to stay in this lobby or go in the other one. So Marcus, we know he's been here before, although I think he's missed a few rounds. And All's Dude, I do have a name for All's Dude, but I'll just check whether they're staying in Heat 1 or going to Heat 2.
Probably Heat 1, I would say, because I think...
Yeah, looking at numbers, I think it might be better for them to stay in Heat 1. So, All's Dude is Ollie Holmes.
Right.
We've got 3 new drivers tonight, and I know about 2 of them. Ollie Holmes is one that I don't know about. So, that's not very...
I didn't know we had any.
Not very useful at this stage.
Well, I looked at the list and I was like, oh, no new drivers, that's fine. And now you've told me, so all good.
We'll go through them when we get in. So I think we're going to go with the usual 50 seconds to start. And that'll give us time to hopefully get round to the other side of the track and out of the way. That's why I've picked a bigger car this week. Hopefully a nippier car, one that I can get round and get going.
Well, I might try and park this on the home straight possibly, because I think there's a couple of places on the home straight I might be able to park. So we'll see how we get on with this track. It's slightly different.
Yeah, there was a little cut-off just after the start-finish line that showed promise, but
there's one on the left.
If you go a tiny bit too far, it puts you back on track.
No, because there's one to the left,
which is
one
not
to
good.
the right.
Didn't actually try the one on the right.
One down to the right, yeah. You're right there. Right.
You set where you are.
Yeah, I'm all good.
To get round.
Hopefully it doesn't move.
So we're currently looking at Slick out front. Like I said, we're on the new camera today. Slick is still rolling here. I don't know whether he knows what's going on with the starts or not. They should be going on 50. And we must be getting close to that time now. The yellows are creeping round to join them.
An interesting...
So Slick is Adam Barrett.
Yeah, and I think we're away.
They're away.
Redshed got a really good start there from the yellows. He's already on the tail of Gaza there.
He was showing good form last meeting, Richard Smith. I'm wondering if he's been doing a bit of practice over the weeks to try and get himself up to speed.
Possibly. It was an interesting one. He showed more around. Oh, that's
Adam Barrett's just lost it on the jumps there. That's allowed Gaza into the lead already. Then, I tell you what, we've left it on 4 laps.
Oh well.
We'll message the lads. That is completely my fault.
Well, you get another practice. It's all blame Twisty there. That's
Yeah, you can blame the starter marshal for that.
so it just gives us another chance to see what these guys are going to go up to. We're not seeing any major. The red tops seem to be struggling to catch the front runners by the look of things here.
Yeah, I mean,
what we're
obviously
seeing.
4 laps, it doesn't give them much chance to catch up, but there seems to be a big gap between the whites and the reds. I don't know whether that was possibly the whites starting off in the wrong place, or maybe the reds just giving them a bit of a chance.
Possibly, yeah.
But we'll see. We'll get it restarted and we'll get going again. Ollie Holmes taking the win in that very short practice, though.
That shows promise.
Shows promise, yeah. I know we were only 4 laps in, but if you're leading after 4 laps, there's no reason why you can't be leading after 15.
No. We'll be interested to see if we can keep it going.
Some of the drivers are looking very confused as to why the checker flag's already out. Lots of evil glares coming from them. I'm going to be in massive trouble when they come off the track. hopefully they've still got enough. Hopefully they've still got enough fuel to finish the next 15 laps.
Well, you'll be paying for a new fresh can of jerrycan, a new jerrycan for him, I think.
Yes, definitely.
That's coming out of your real paycheck.
So a couple of drivers have taken that chance to change car by the looks of things, so possibly very advantageous to some of the drivers. So maybe they won't be all angry with me. Richard Smith's gone in a gate crasher. Has he been listening?
Possibly, or maybe he literally wants to do what it says at the end of that, which is crash. Maybe he wants to be the crasher in this one. Maybe.
Well, we know he wants to do that.
Yeah. I mean, he had a good start in that one. To be honest, I was quite impressed by his start. He was very quick on the start. I don't think he jumped it by the looks of things. He just he went when the whites went, and the rest of he seems to leave him behind. So if he gets another good start, I mean, possibly.
Yeah, definitely. I think all the new drivers are starting off as yellow tonight. So Ollie Holmes came from yellow there to get to the front in 4 laps. So we'll look for him to do the same again in this one, although possibly the other yellows might have twigged that now that he's quick, and they might try and put an end to that early on.
Possibly. We'll see. So we'll just sort ourselves out for the first official heat now. We're finally our act together.
Now that we've had the warm-up, we'll get on with the race. You've come and joined me here today.
It was coming up with a big wrong way sign over there, so I was like, what, having that the whole time?
You didn't trust it?
Well, no, because it's still doing the same thing. That's annoying. It's coming across the middle of the screen.
It does that with me sometimes.
It's doing it
I think
again.
the drivers are going to be going on 50, so they'll be getting ready to go. You can hear the engine starting to fire up. We're currently on board with Gaza.
Adam Barrett and Gareth Davis are the front runners. And again, Richard Smith, another fantastic start there from the yellows, but he's nearly messed himself up and put himself in the wall. Some interesting some lines over them jumps. So
yeah, that top corner, turns 3 and 4. How would you approach that? Because we've just seen 2 completely different lines from Gaza and Adam Barrett. Gaza going in wide and coming out tight, and Adam Barrett doing the opposite. Thankfully, both missing each other. Although they're not going to miss each other now, and then Gaza gets put in, and that's Luke Smith already through into first place.
Massive rollover on the back straight. Craig Thompson was involved in that, as was Marcus Brooks. There's a few casualties there. So
yeah, one driver that will be cursing us is Ollie Holmes. He's way down in 6th place. Luke Smith, where did he come from, Sean? Because he started way back in the Reds.
Oh, I have no idea where he come from at all. He's obviously flying. I mean, Matt Barnard doing really well as well. In second now. Richard Smith still in third. That's some good pace from him.
He
was
right behind Luke
Smith. He's now jumped up to 6th. I have no idea what's going on.
He was right behind Luke Smith on the jumps and landed on his side, much like Adam Barrett's just done in front of Luke Smith, and Luke Smith's also done it. Curse of the commentator there. That's going to allow Matt Barnard through into 1st place, if we can find Matt.
We were on about this earlier, and Ollie Holmes has just done it as well on the back straight. You know, it's going to be about just taking your time over those jumps on the back straight. If you're a bit too hasty with it and you're not straight, you're going to mess yourself up. And on the home straight, Craig Thompson got a little bit squirrely on the home straight and spun himself round. Because there are some little jumps on the home straight, not as bad as the ones on the back straight. Marcus Brooks also fell casualties to those as well. So
top 4 at the moment. Matt Barnard 1st, Gaza in 2nd, Terry Hawkins 3rd, and Luke Smith in 4th. Them 4 currently going through to the final. Not even at half race distance yet. Richard Smith just been lapped. He's in 5th place and he's just been lapped by current leader Matt Barnard. That just goes to show how quick Matt's going here.
Yeah, definitely. Gareth Davis showing some good pace here from White. But Terry Hawkins on the charge from Red in 3rd. He's absolutely fine there. And Luke Smith, he's nowhere to be seen. He's just been lapped. And he's in 5th. So, as is Richard Smith. So, Matt Barnard has lapped everyone up to 3rd. And he's on lap 8.
Yeah, I mean...
So
at this rate, in final, it's going to be if anyone can stay on the same lap as him.
Yeah, I mean, he's showing some very good pace around here. Just looking at the lap times, it's quick. It's a quick lap time. He's the quickest. He's the only man doing a 22. I like Craig Thompson's gone quicker than Matt with a 22 dead. Matt Barnard,
I was speaking to a lad
before
the meeting, and they were saying they were doing 22 zeros, but on a track like this, I don't really think it matters how fast you're going. Matt up behind Hot Rod Gaza now, who's in 3rd place, and that's put Matt a little bit out of sorts. Gaza's put Matt in a lap down, and surely Matt's not going to go back past him here. He has gone back past him. That's brave.
That was a brave pass. You see, he's messed himself up there on the back straight. He just needs to take a bit of time. And that's allowed Gareth to drive through him there and do some damage to him, but I don't think it's going to be enough to gain him a place back. Matt's going to
he's just hit Marcus on the home straight.
He's got to be careful with his health soon. If he's going to keep doing mistakes like that, he won't have much health left with 4 laps remain.
No.
So Terry Hawkins has moved up to 2nd now.
Yeah, Terry, I don't know where Terry is on the track. Hot Rod Gaza has just backed out at the wrong time and been
Terry's
collected by Matt. Matt has lost it on this top corner, and Terry's now through into the lead, but he gets hit by Matt. What is going on here?
So somehow Matt's managed to lose this. I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's about being calm and collected. Well, Matt is absolutely on the charge there. As he come down the home straight, as he turns 1 and 2, as he comes on the exit, it's Terry on the inside. Matt looking for the charge. They come on the jump on the inside line. Both very clean there. Matt is all over him. He's trying to give him a tickle, but he's not giving through. Terry's still got the charge as they're going on to lap 13 now. Matt looking for the inside.
Great race between these two.
Will Marcus get involved here with the two of them? Could make an upset here.
Oh, Terry's lost it.
Terry Hawkins goes end over end there. That could be it for him. That was his only chance, really.
Yeah, Matt just needs to settle down now and get back to what he was doing for the first 9 laps, just plodding around by himself, taking his time. And amazingly, all 9 still running at this stage.
At this stage, we are. Yeah, there are a few with lower health. It looks like Craig Thompson has moved up to 3rd. some a bit of a shuffling going on. We're on last lap.
I was watching Craig in the practice, and Craig won one of the practice sessions. So Craig is quick round here, but he, as we know, he's a bit like Richard Smith. He prefers a crash, I think, to a win.
Yeah, definitely. Matt Barnard now coming into the final corner. Here he comes down the exit onto the home straight, and he takes the win in the first heat. So we now look further down the field to see who will make it through to the final. And it's going to be Terry Hawkins coming home in second. Craig Thompson coming home in third. And Will Luke Smith should be able to, I think. I think he's ahead of Richard Smith. Richard Smith's a lap down by the looks of things. So it's a shame, really, because Richard was showing good form there. It's nice to see Luke Smith manage to qualify in this one. I think some good form from a few of them there. I'm not surprised with the result. I think it's. I think Matt could have probably backed off a little bit and nearly cost it for him there, but it was a good race overall.
He could definitely have made it easier for himself, that's for sure. Hot Rod Gaza has been wrecked, so he's not going to finish this one. That's not surprising, considering where he decided to back out early in one of those and get collected by the leader.
No, definitely not, but...
So, I think me and you, Sean, are going to have to shuffle across now to the other lobby.
Okay.
So we'll leave this one and go and join that other lobby.
Fantastic. I did have a quick look then. Craig Thompson, absolutely blistering lap time with a 21.81. No one else had done a 21 there, so I think if he'd managed to keep out of trouble, he could be a potential. Craig Thompson.
Craig Thompson, right?
Yeah, finished down in third, so you know he could be an interesting driver for the.
So he's definitely one of the favourites then for the
possibly if he can keep
the final with that sort of speed.
If he can do that consistently, but I mean for me then, I mean no one could seem to pull like Ollie was. Ollie was just pulling down the straights, and I mean Terry Hawkins was in the speed bird as well, but I have no idea where Ollie was getting his speed from. It was like he just had a different engine in the car. Whoever's his engine builder must be happy with that.
Definitely. He'll be more happy than the chassis builder after this meeting, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll need more than a rejig. So I wouldn't want to have a look at a shafty after these jumps. Can't imagine racing a hot stock around here on the jumps.
No, I don't think the bottom of the spine would take it, would it?
No, there has famously
mine certainly wouldn't.
A long time ago. I mean, you may have seen it. I think it was at Buxton. Probably, I think it could have been 80s, 90s. One did a jump over some cars a long time ago.
Oh yes. That video's still available on YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, so I do come across it every now and again. It is. Yeah, there is pictures of it. Yes. It's a fantastic picture. Not often you see a stock car in flight like that.
No, I think he was related to Iron Man, wasn't he, that lad?
Oh, we're having a couple of connections issues there. Are we back?
We are in. Why? Has the stream gone? No, the stream's still up on mine. I think we're okay.
We're alright. We had a couple of connection issues then. Yeah. It all went a bit haywire, but...
Did it all go a bit funny? It might have been when I was joining the lobby, but we are in. We are in now. It looks like we've just got the 8 for Heat 2. Let me see who is missing. So I think H-Man is missing tonight, Harley, but I don't think I think he's told people that he can't make it. So I think the one we're missing is Grant.
Grant Leather. That is a shame. So in this one, obviously we got Richard Slayman, we got Gillian Bullock, Jim Slatter, Liam Rose, Ashley Crofts, Tom Story, Thomas Andrews will be looking for a better start tonight, and a new one from that's.
Yeah, so
Matty
Matty Traz is Mark Woodhall's mechanic, I'm led to believe.
Right, okay, for those that don't know who Mark Woodhall, he's a Brisca F1 driver. So
he'll be battling it out with Jim Slatter, who's also one of the mechanics. And no doubt them two will be aiming to be the best mechanic in the lobby tonight. I have no idea how Matty Traz is going to go. So it's going to be a complete a newcomer. I have no idea what he'll be like. He's going to start as a yellow, as is Richard Sleeman tonight. Richard Sleeman has been starting as a blue. And we spoke to Richard last week, didn't we? And he said he felt like he'd been stitched up at blue.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he gets on tonight from yellow. Hopefully he gets on better from yellow. Although I don't think he did too badly from blue, did he? He did still manage to qualify for the final.
On the list, he's down as white, actually. I just noticed. He's
Was
down,
he down
as
as
white.
white? Oh,
yeah, I've just
okay.
looked at my list, and he's down as white. So it'd be interesting if he is. That's a major drop for him. So possibly maybe a good result for him tonight. You got any favourites for this one, or anyone you want to look out for? You think?
I think when Jumbo's in the race, you've always got to start him as a favourite. I know that I think it was Liam I spoke to. Liam was the one that said he was doing 22 zeros, LR492. So if that's true, expect to see him up the order. Yeah, I think my favourite is just anyone who manages to keep the car moving for 15 laps.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we're getting ready now. We must be. I think they're waiting for that 50-second mark again.
So slightly different starting positions in this one. Not as far apart, but it's Sleeman. Sleeman leads the way, and there is the only white top in this one.
Sleeman's clock are possibly running a bit quicker than everyone else's there, but he is gone.
Thomas Andrews is now up to yellow. Previously being white. He's had a run of bad luck, and it's not finished, and he's been spun by Liam Rose in the home straight.
We talk about Thomas a lot because Thomas is one of the faster drivers, but never ever gets any luck. Always gets taken out.
He is a shame.
Just needs to.
I don't know what it is. Whether he just needs to find a 4-leaf clover or something, because he just looks never on his side. He's one of those things. But Sleeman out in front here, white grade. He may be undergraded here.
He started off with a 22.7 on lap 2, which isn't fast, but it's not slow either.
But Liam Rose is he's sort of all over the place on the jumps. Liam Rose may be fast, but whether he's consistent is another matter. You've got to be smooth around here and quite fast. I think sometimes just taking your time over these jumps and that is the thing. But Jim Slatter is on the charge and probably looking for a pack in the next lap or two on Liam Rose, and we'll start hunting down the leader.
And Richard Sleeman's just put in a 22.3. Very, very smooth driving style so far from Richard. He's hitting the jumps bang in the middle. Got a little bit wonky there, and he's avoided the car that was spun round. That was Thomas again. And Gillen's. Oh, Sleeman's lost it coming out, and he's got himself stuck there. We're going to try and jump on board with Liam Rose here, because that's going to put him. No, it's Jim Slatter now takes the lead. Curse of the commentator strikes once again. Having said that Richard Sleeman was driving nice and smoothly, he goes and wraps it round the starter marshal's post.
Maybe that's why he's back to white. Maybe just not consistent enough. It's a shame because he seems to have a good lead there out in front. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself after that. But
Gillen Bullitt down in 8th, already on half a bar of health.
Yeah, Ashley Croft also not doing too well down in 7th place. Was going end over end just before Richard Sleeman took himself out. Matty Traz going really well in 4th in his first meeting here. This could be a very good result for him if he can keep it all together. With Tom Story a reasonable distance behind him. If Matty to keep it the right way, then he should have the final in the bag. Should be qualified for that.
Definitely, yeah. And it'd be good to see that, and a newcomer.
Yeah, definitely. It's what we like to see. And it looks like Gillian Bullock's put himself in the wall there. He's definitely going flat out. He's not having much luck.
Jim has posted a 21.8 lap time wise, Sean.
That's fast. That's very fast. Indeed. He's absolutely flying around in there. 21.8, that's probably about the same, might be a bit faster than what Craig Thompson did. I think Craig Thompson was an 8.88 and that was in a road cutter, so I'll be interested to see them race together. Whether Craig is as consistent as Jim.
Well, I think you've got to be more impressed with Craig's lap time, because that's probably been done after he's followed 2 drivers in.
Well, probably, yeah. I mean, I do wonder if Wall rided it as well, maybe to get that, maybe. But yeah, I mean, we can't. Oh,
Jim's lost it on the home straight. End over end, bit of cartwheeling for his fans. Still in 1st place though.
Liam Rose massively behind. He's still got a comfortable lead even after that. He regains composure. He's on lap 12. He's still got enough time as long as he can.
Oh, he's on his side again.
And he's done it again. He's done it again. Is the pressure getting to him? This could be Liam Rose's if he holds it and he's made the pass. Liam's now got it. Now can Jim now reel him in? Can Jim reel him in with 3 laps remaining in this one? It's possible. Liam Rose seems to be stuck behind Matty Traz, who's currently being lapped.
Yeah, he's lapping Matty. Matty just needs to try and stay out of this, really, and try and consolidate 4th place, is what I'd say.
But,
Liam's lost
Liam
it.
Rose,
That's Jim back through.
Liam's gone, so that's Jim. Jim may have got a good break there. Tough break for Liam Rose. So 2 laps remaining in this one,
right.
and Jim just caught the Gillian Bullock on turn 1 there. It was the dead car of Gillian Bullock. Nearly took himself out again, but Matty Trad's having a really good battle with him, even though he's a lap down.
Jim's lost it again.
No more luck here, and it looks like Liam Rose has got it now. This could come down to the last lap if Liam Rose can lose it. Liam Rose. Liam Rose has lost it on the end over end. Like I've said throughout the whole night, this is literally watch your lines and take your time. And no one's obviously listening to us because we don't know anything. Down the back straight, Jim Slatter has twisted his out in stitches. He can't keep it together. Jim Slatter is about to come take the win for Heat 2. Liam Rose should be able to keep it together unless he's going to barrel roll it down the line, maybe just for good measure. Looks like Liam Rose is going to get second.
There are members down that home straight, crowd members down that home straight holding up number 10s, and that's not because the Gillian Bullock fans. That's because they're judging each of the cartwheels that these drivers are doing past them.
Fantastic. Richard Sleeman comes over a respectable 3rd. And Matty Traz, absolutely fantastic there in the fourth place. Showing up the drivers here that have been doing this for weeks. So
that's very impressive, because he came under attack there, but from Jay Crofts towards the end, it looks like he managed to hold on to that position.
Thomas Andrew just misses out there in 5th. Also Ashley Croft and Tom Story. A few drivers we didn't mention at all in that race. Just didn't seem to have the pace around there at all, which is a shame. But that was an interesting race, to say the least. I mean, they need to definitely regain the composure and think about what they're going to do for the final, because you can't be doing the mistakes like that when in the final. There's a lot riding on it, and with so early, so near to the the Gold Roof race. You know, you want to show what you're made of. You know, this is a good tester to show. You know, and to show people that you're not to be messed with. I think there's a few drivers that are definitely favourites for that one.
Definitely. So I think what might be best is if we set up the consolation now, and then we'll be able to set up the final.
Yep. Not a problem. So
okay, we'll have to make sure we get the laps correct this time as well.
I'll take it for you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay, so
Hey, have you managed to pull
now.
Have you pulled your sides back together now? Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, that was amusing. I mean, I'm laughing. We've all been there on this track. I mean, like I said, I've only tried the track a couple of times.
That's why I don't like it.
You can be going really well for 3 or 4 laps, and then all of a sudden, that's it. It goes.
And spend most of the night just doing cartwheels down the straights. I mean, the passing is interesting as well around here because, like you say, if you're clipping people coming down the straights and stuff like that, and end up turning them slightly, and then they end up clipping a jump, and then because they've gone offline, you end up going offline, then you both end up double barrel rolling. So you end up it's. I think if whoever the winner of the final is, the driver who's got the most patience to take the time, back off, be the clever one, and not be the driver going flat out all the time. I think.
Yeah,
with it being such a long race, you know, doing that many mistakes, it's gonna come back to bite you. You've definitely got to think of that.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think the drivers doing this consolation, I think are going to have an advantage going into the final because they've had one extra race just to try and get their head around what they're doing and hopefully find a rhythm for the track. And if they can find that rhythm and not take themselves out, that'll put them in a good place for the final.
Yeah, definitely.
I think one to watch is definitely Stock's Karts. I think we're all hoping his fortune changes because he's a good driver. But he just, like you said, just doesn't seem to get the look, does he?
No, I mean, I mean, I would like to see Richard Smith possibly qualify as well. He had good pace in the heat. Just seemed to get unlucky as well. But there is some, like I said, there are some fast drivers here. Luke Smith showed some he's got some good pace in the past. You know, Luke Smith is current British champion. It's
Luke Smith has actually qualified. I think he is. I think he has crept in when he shouldn't be in. So we will just ask him to move his car off the track and send him a little message to explain why he's been asked to move off the track.
I'm sure he won't complain. Maybe just wanted more testing.
Possibly.
Just get it dialed in, ready for the final.
Maybe.
So a good selection of drivers in this one. As we, I think we're getting ready now.
Yeah, we're just waiting on Ols Dude, who was in Heat 1, who won the 4-lap practice run, if you remember correctly.
Yes.
Before I messed it up. So we're just waiting for him to join. He might be one to watch.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it could be tricky. I mean, you've got some quite experienced drivers in here and some newer drivers that are new to this. You know, this is a track they haven't raced on at all. So, I mean, some of the guys that possibly, you know, play the game all the time, you know, they're probably used to this track, but you know, as you know, I mean, we play this all the time, and this isn't a track that we're exactly familiar with. It's not a track that I'm overly fond of, and we use all the time. So I think it's probably more of a level playing field than other tracks.
Than some of the other
Has been.
tracks, yeah, definitely. I think it's more sort of on the same level as the figure eights, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual to see like Sir Jim Slatter making such a mistake lap after lap. And you don't see that anywhere else, I don't think. So, you know, I'd like to see some of these guys around some of the circuits that we're quite fond of. To be honest with you, I think they go quite well around there.
Yeah, so it's not looking like Old Dude is on still, which is a shame. We're just going to have one last shout out for him now. I think there's a bit of mix up with. I think he thinks he's won Heat 1.
All right, okay. Even though, yeah, makes sense because you messed up.
Yes. Thanks for mentioning that, Sean.
It's all right.
Yeah.
So, you said prize money's coming out of your pocket. It's prize money. You might want to get. You
We
might
will
want to
send
get
him another.
an extra trophy made as well because he'll be gutted.
That's not an
But
issue. We can do that
Twist,
for him.
Twisty's 4-lap dash special winner.
4-lap dash special. Winner gets a Mars bar. If they can get to it before I eat it, which, you know, I mean, if they can get to it before I eat it, and they're pretty fast. So
well, that's true. There's a reason why your team's called Fat Boys, Twisty. Remember that, right?
yes.
So I think we're just waiting on Old Dude.
Yeah, it's the final call out going in for him. We've got a driver running to him in the pits just to make sure as he understands he should be out here.
He had his feet up comfortably waiting for the final because obviously somebody didn't tell him that it was
no.
Poor organisation there from the starter there, horrendous.
In all fairness, though, I mean, we did run the 15-lap race afterwards, so I mean that was a little clue that it perhaps.
I did notice. Were the heats meant to be 10 laps?
Well, when I asked the official starter before the meeting, he's on his way. He's on his way around now. I can see him coming through the pits.
I was just looking through the format before. That we received earlier, and it was 10 laps and a 10-lap consolation.
Was it? Now, that's possible, and it's also possible I didn't see that one earlier. And when I asked more recently than that, we got told 15 laps. It's here. So
awesome.
We can,
so are we running a 20-lap final?
We are going to run a 20-lap final. I think based off the heats, I think we'll definitely get 5 or 6 finishes. But hopefully more than that, because the drivers will have had a practice now and they will know what they're doing. I think we'll this one could be interesting because we've got the hard hitters in this one. So, is it going to be a case of 15 laps or whoever does the most wins? Or...
Yeah, I mean, there's a few fast drivers in here that are, you know, Ashley Croft is a quick driver to not have qualified. You know, he's the red top in here. Richard Smith, it has been shown some fantastic pace recently. So I think Ashley Croft is the lone red top in this one. So if he keeps it all together, he should be able to get away clean at the start, which should be good for him.
Okay, so just Getting retired up there and ready to go. I've set my stopwatch, so we should have a rough idea of when these guys are starting this time. And we are currently sat on board with Ollie Holmes, but we're going to move to Slick at the front, which is Adam Barrett, and he looks like he's sneaking further up the track. I won't get too close to that jump, and they should be about to start any second now. Off they go. Good start from Adam Barrett. He's got a nice lead over the yellows. Doesn't need to do anything daft in this first corner, just get it round, and the yellows already sideways and all over the place. Stops kart through into no, stops kart down. Marcus second and Ollie third. So again,
an interesting line
go
there for Thomas Andrew there, going right up the banking.
I think at this stage for Thomas Andrew, he might as well try anything he
Marcus
can.
Brooks
there's a yellow top gone over the...
Marcus Brooks has gone flying. As does Adam Barrett, also double barrel. Richard Smith just absolutely nailed Adam Barrett on the back straight. No unusual sight to see there. Thomas Andrew back to his unlucky ways down in 6th place. But it's Oldsdu, the newcomer, Ollie Holmes out in front with Ashley Croft, the red top, in 2nd. Gillian Bullock in 3rd at the moment, but this could all change. Ashley's all over the place, struggling to keep the car in the straight line. Whether he's got some steering problems there or he's just jerking at the wheel wherever he wants to go. He's he's struggling to keep it out of the wall as Bullock has come through to 2nd place. But Ollie Holmes, a nice comfortable lead. Not quick by any means, but he's not all over the place. And that's what I said throughout tonight is, you know, it's about being consistent and just taking your time with this track, because it will bite you if you're too fast with it. And Thomas Andrews has just been bitten again by the track on the jumps on the back straight.
Yeah, the eagle-eyed out there will have noticed that Ollie's running a B-class car, whereas the rest of them are running A-class. Now, that basically means it's underpowered, so it's not going to be as fast as the others. Which on a normal track would be a big problem, but on this track it seems to be proving quite good for him. It's almost like he's driving a training car, but that's helping him get round because he's not got the power to lose control like the others.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think he's probably easier to control because he's not going to worry about defending the throttle as much. I am noticing that the inside jumps are easier on the cars. They seem to land a lot better than the outside jumps on the back straight. The car seems to land a lot smoother but obviously the inside jumps are a lot harder to get to, because obviously your natural racing line isn't to go to the inside.
No, it's to drift out, isn't it? Keep the power down. I did have a run round this track before the meeting, and I noticed with the bump on the back straight, you had to hit them at a lot of speed to clear them. Oh, Richard Smith's just taken Ollie Holmes out. Ollie Holmes seems to have survived that okay, though. He's alright, still in 2nd place as long as he can finish there.
It's a shame there. That's allowed Ashley Croft to the first, though. No surprise there with, but I think Ashley was closing the gap a bit, but Ashley has been a bit erratic, to say the least. So whether that will bite him here. Gillian Bullock is closing on Ollie Holmes, looking for that 2nd place.
Oh, Ashley Croft has gone really wide. Wrong side of the bridge and collected one of the rocks that sat on the side.
And that's dropped him down to 3rd place. He'll, with 5 laps remaining this one, he's on the charge again. It just seems to be they're just pushing a bit too hard here. As I've said, you just got to take your time. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to. And when you've got that red mist and your visor's down and you're away, no one thinks about taking time. But Ollie Holmes again, nice and clean out front, nice and tidy out front, nice and comfortable. Got the lead. As long as he can stay out the way of the back markers, he should all be good.
Definitely. He's doing 23 zeros, which, as we've discussed, it's about a 1.5 seconds slower than what Jim Slatter was doing previously. But as long as he can keep it on the wheels, then that should be faster over the length of a race.
Yeah, definitely.
We've had a message in from Jim Slatter. Actually, speaking of Jim Slatter, he's not very happy. He's heard from some of the other spectators that we've been taking the mick out of him crashing, and he's blaming it on too much beer and too much sun. Now, obviously, we wouldn't recommend drinking and driving, and certainly not drinking and racing.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think we might have to get the officials down to give him a breathalyzer test.
We'll send them round
Ashley
before
Croft
the final.
has rolled it on the home straight and got himself stuck between a wall. That's gotten him down to third. That's a lad Gillian Bullock through. So are we going to see the newcomer take the win? And I think we will, as he's on last lap now. Nice and comfortable. He's taking his time. Gillian Bullock down the home straight there. He's ahead enough of Ashley Croft here. As long as he keeps it together, he should have this one in the bag.
Ollie Dude is just coming across the line now to take the win, and he does take that win. We will try and jump on board with Ashley Crofts, who's in third place. No sign of Gillen, so I'm guessing
Gillen is on the home
second.
straight now. Yeah, and he's took home second place and secures his spot in the final. Ashley Croft coming home in third place. Thomas Andrews coming home in fourth. And we will see Marcus or Richard Smith coming home in fifth and sixth. A few laps down there between the two of them. So I think a few of the drivers are sort of in the league of their own there, out in front. I'm interested to see Ollie Holmes in the final. I think he could be an upset winner. If not a winner, definitely a podium place. He's definitely got the pace for it. I think he wasn't, like I say, he's not doing blisteringly fast. He's not doing, his fastest was a 23, but I don't think that mattered too much. In my personal opinion, I think he was just so sort of smooth and being consistent with that. I think he done really well.
Yeah, it was just a nice, smooth drive, wasn't it? And for someone who's just fresh into this formula, it's nice to see. So
yeah,
I'm just
definitely.
going to remove some of the ones that haven't qualified.
So there's Jim Slatter just ready for some crashing in this one. I'm sure he'll love that comment. So we'll see if he can put us wrong in the final. See if he can keep it the right way up this time.
Definitely.
Yeah. One thing I will tell him though, he needs to paint the underside of his car. It's looking a bit rusty.
Well, on the subject of painting, most or many will have seen during today's meeting that a lot of the drivers have been painted in purple and red. And that's in tribute to Brian Joe Jolly, who we unfortunately lost this week. And tonight's final is going to be a memorial towards Brian Joe Jolly. And I've got a few words that I'm going to read out. These have been sent in by Shannon and are echoed throughout the Brisca V8s. And so these are the words that she sent me. So Brian, also known as Joe, always had time for everyone, around and away from the ovals. He'd been around racing since his brother took him to his first meeting at 9, and from the moment on, he had the bug. He was part of the Formula 1 number 2 team from Willie to Paul Harrison, and was still helping out when Bradley took the number 25. When Guy got involved in racing in 2008 under the number 222, he couldn't have been more proud. He may even have had a few names for Guy at certain times when he came off the track, but every race win and every great meeting made up for it all. Brian will be greatly missed by everyone he met, as he was an unforgettable character. He'll forever be looking down on us all, and Guy will never fail to make him proud. Rest in peace. And I think that's sentiments that can be echoed by myself and you, Sean.
Yeah, definitely lovely words there.
And so that's why all the drivers tonight have been painted in purple and red, which I believe is Guy's colours.
Yes.
So hopefully, those the meeting tonight, the final tonight, will be a race worthy of Brian's memory.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. I'm sure. I'm sure his family will be looking forward to watching this one and hoping it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think personally, from mine and your point of view, we've obviously dealt with Guy in terms of getting this set up for the E Series.
Yeah.
And Guy's been an absolute pleasure to work with, and our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family at this sad time, and I'm sure that's a thought that's echoed amongst all the Brisca V8 drivers and the oval racing family as a community.
Yeah, definitely. We may be racing, it may be all racing and everything, but we're a big family at the end of the day, regardless, especially off track. It's not nice to hear at all, but hopefully the guys can put on a show and make them proud. And I'm sure these guys will.
100%. So I think everybody is in, and we're all ready to go. And we'll see how these guys get on. See if any of them can last the full 20 laps.
So I think we should see some interesting drives in this one. I think if they can keep it together, I'll be there with the people to see me money on. Well, we'll see. I mean, I think the guy who doesn't do a double barrel rollover, or many of them, it should be the person that wins. Whether that happens is another matter.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got Richard Sleeman starting off on pole, and the drivers are getting ready to start. It'll be about 2 seconds from now they'll be going, and if he can get away, Thomas Andrews has made a good start in second place. We could see these two drive off into the distance.
There's a lot of carnage on the back straight though. Luke Smith, Gillian Bullock, Craig Thompson, Jim Slatter, all having a bit of a tangle there and a bit of a roll. Got Matt Barnard also going around on the exit of turn 4. This isn't a good start for them for this final at all.
No, we noticed one in the background doing the cartwheels. That must have been Gillian from how he's dropped down the order there. Sleeman, a nice lead out in front. And putting himself in the wall there, as I say that. Ollie Holmes sat in second place, just sort of taking his time, and Matty Traz has now moved into second place. He takes that, and Sleeman on his roof, and Sleeman barrel rolling down the straight.
He's sort of done what we'd seen him in earlier on. He's quick, but just a bit erratic.
Stopped cart on the outside of the track.
It's Matty Traz out in front. I think he had a tangle there with Ollie Holmes. That's Ashley Croft, the red top. He's going really well, but and there's Craig Thompson, fastest lap man in Heat 1. So he's up there in third. Jim also in fourth. But Matt Barnard in fifth place managed to come together after his early spin. So as we move on,
these drivers are all in good positions to maybe put an attack on the leaders. Craig Thompson there taking the unusual line down the back straight of starting on the inside and crossing to the outside halfway down it. That's a new line we've not seen yet.
Yeah,
it's definitely worked for him though. He's up into second place now.
Yeah, there's some interesting lines going. Craig Thompson he's probably doing what if you're a sprint car fan, a bit like myself, you'll see him riding the cushion on turn 1 and 2, riding right up against the wall and making those overtakes, absolutely flying. And he's chasing down Ashley Croft, he's in first. Craig Thompson is looking for the outside line, they've come together, they've both gone in the wall. Craig is looking up the inside.
Great battle this.
Absolutely
Look
fantastic.
who's there in fourth place though, caught them all up. Jim Slatter, if these two mess it up, Jim is there ready to take that lead.
Jim went for a slide job there on Matty Traz and hasn't made it stick though. Jim's going to look round the outside on turns 1 and 2 and he's made it stick now. That's Craig Thompson out in front now though. He seems to be pulling away from Ashley Croft now, but Craig's messed up and he's put himself in the wall. And that's allowed Ashley Croft through. And well, it looks like Jim and Matty Traz all managed to keep it together in that one. Matty is absolutely flying around here, really impressed by him in this one.
It's a good performance, isn't it? He's not really putting the foot wrong. He's just keeping the car in one piece, allowing the others to lose it.
A bad landing there for Ashley.
Well.
Matt Barner, not Matt, Jim Slatter, sorry, coming together with Matty.
Jim.
And that was a bit of a move. And Matty's on his side there on the home straight, isn't it? And he somehow managed to regain control there. These guys are turning into monster truck drivers, absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Matty Traz is gone end over end. That's him dropping down to third. Jim Slatter's also been collected on the exit of turn 4, and that's allowed Craig Thompson up to second. The action is non-stop round this track.
Yeah, we're still on board with Ashley Cross. He's just lapped current points leader Terry Hawkins, who is running in 8th place. Oh, Ashley Cross has been spun out by Terry Hawkins. That is going to leave it open. Is it Craig Thompson in second?
Yes, it is Craig Thompson. I'm looking. I'm on Madge Road on the back straight and waiting for them to come.
Craig is
come
now
down.
in first place.
And there's a few drivers red there. That's Thomas Andrews has been red. No luck for him tonight. It was nice to see him in the final, but not been. Richard Sleeman also out of it in this one.
If he didn't have bad luck, he would have no luck at all.
No, it was nice to see him in the
Thompson
final,
going for. Oh, he's up on his roof. He's over. End over end. Ashley Cross
he's been collected and he's not got much health left. Jim Slatter's just driven through him as well. There's not much left for Craig Thompson's car left after all those hits. But Matt Barnard finishing him off now. That's Craig Thompson in third. So that's the way to get rid of your opposition, is wreck 'em. And Craig Thompson's all over the place now. And I think his race is pretty much over in this one. So Ashley Croft now, who managed to qualify through the consolation, showing good form so far. A little bit erratic over the jumps, but he's out in front at the moment. If he can keep it on all 4 wheels, he should be okay as he goes on to lap.
5 laps to go.
Mr. Starter with the lap boards out now. Craig Thompson.
6 laps to go even, sorry.
Another rollover in third. Craig Thompson's just been absolutely destroyed by Terry Hawkins, and that's Craig Thompson out there, which is a shame to see him go. And that's Matty Traz in third. So Jim Slatty, Matty Traz in gold.
Ashley Cross has just finished Luke Smith off. Luke Smith has gone. We're down to 8 runners.
So it's not surprising to see so many drivers going out in this one. I am not surprised. So it's a shame to see the consolation winner, Ollie Holmes, down there in 8th place. Probably just not
Ashley
got the pace
Cross
for this
now
one.
up behind Matty Traz, who is running third. So Ashley Cross at this stage lapping 3rd place. He can afford to just take his time at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. This one is really between Ashley and Jim Slatter now. Jim, he's only just coming. He's in turns 3 and 4. Sorry.
Matty Traz has lost it again there. So, like you said, this is a 2-man race at this stage. Could be either of them though. Ashley has lost it. Ashley's put himself out. Up and over. Where is Jim?
Jim's coming down now. He's getting closer.
There is Jim.
And Jim's gone through. 2 laps remain now for Jim Slatter. And he's up turns 1 and 2. Ashley Croft only just crossing the start line. I've noticed Terry Hawkins, Liam Rose. I don't know where Liam Rose came up. He's moved up to 3rd, and Terry Hawkins now in 4th. Nope, it's moved around again. Terry Hawkins is now in 3rd. Nice. Don't know what's going on there. They're playing.
Last lap board come out for Jim Slatter. 1st place. Ashley Crofts, having led the race for so long, is well in the distance. Is Jim gonna get it here? He's done the right thing there, I think, by just letting Terry go first out that corner, and Jim is gonna come across the line and takes the win.
He takes the Memorial Final. A fantastic win there for Jim Slatter. He got some redemption from his a bit of a erratic heat. Ashley Croft sadly came in home in 2nd place there after he just couldn't seem to keep it together.
Disappointed. He went well for the majority of that race, but just lost it with 2 to go there, and unfortunately he'll know himself that he's got no one else to blame for that because he lost it on his own.
Yeah, definitely, which is a shame. So as we're looking at the results now, we have Terry Hawkins coming home in a respectable 3rd place, Liam Rose in 4th, Matty Traz had a fantastic run in that one in 5th place, Matt Barnard coming home in 6th, Gillian Bullock coming home in 7th place, and it will be, as the last car running, Ollie Holmes coming home in 8th place, the consolation winner. At least he finished there, not having the pace of the drivers, but it was nice to see him finish. 8 runners, more drivers than I thought would finish that one. Probably not as close as I thought the race would be either, but it was a good race nonetheless.
Definitely. So I think we go to All Comers 1 now, and I think that's going to be over at Richard Sleeman's lobby. Just trying to find some info there on that, just to make sure.
So a fantastic race there. Couldn't have gone any better really for Jim Slatter, and we can now reject our comments from earlier.
Yeah, we'll just send Jim a quick invite, see whether he wants to come in and have a chat. I think he came in last week, didn't he? He's usually one of the quieter drivers, so we'll see how he's feeling. He says he's had a few beers today, so maybe he's not.
Hopefully the marshals will have some post-race scrutineering after the race, so we'll see if he gets his breathalyzing test. Well, we don't want to see the final win stripped, obviously.
No, definitely not. I'm sure they were non-alcoholic beers, if he has indeed been having them.
You know, you're good at lying, Trusty.
Only when I've had a few. Non-alcoholic beers, that is.
Oh, right. That's all right. Yeah, mine's definitely non-alcoholic. Definitely. Sorry, not alcoholic. Not alcoholic. Sorry, I got that wrong.
So we got 2 races before the team races. We're calling these the All-Comers, also known as the Grand Nationals to the average Brisca fan. Or
even if you're ancient like my dad, you'd call them Helter Skelters.
Helter Skelters. My dad always used to call them Helter Skelters. I remember racing mini stocks. And whenever we'd done the final, straight away my dad would be, have you filled the fuel up ready for the Helter Skelter? And me and my brother every time would be saying, what the heck are you going on about, Dad? Helter Skelter. There's no helter-skelter. We're looking at the programme, Dad. There's no helter-skelter. What is a helter-skelter? And we live in sunny Southport, and we have a fairground, and they used to have a ride called the helter-skelter.
Yes.
Have you ever been on the helter-skelter?
Yes, it's a slide. It's not one of my favourites, I'll be honest. I can't exactly say what I think of it, but I'm sure you can guess. Have you been on one? Would it describe what you class as a Grand National?
Helter-skelter that I went on? Well, the one at Southport was just a big tower with a slide going round and round the outside. And yeah, I mean, back when I was the weight where I didn't get stuck halfway down, I used to quite enjoy it. But
that must have lasted long, wasn't it? Right, so as we get ready for whatever this race is called again, we it's had some weird inceptions over the years. I would like to know why it was called that at one point. That's something that does interest me, but I'm sure that's some information I could try and find out for next week.
yeah, I might look into that. I do like my history, and I am currently looking into the history of stock car racing. But that's not something I've come across, or if it is something I've come across, it's not something I've memorised.
No, it's an interesting. Why was it? It's an interesting fact that why it was changed from that to Grand National. Why it's called a Grand National? All comers does it does sort of make sense. It's sort of what it says on the tin. All drivers.
Everyone who's left running.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's,
yeah.
All comers Grand Nationals. They're normally quite a hard race because it's whoever's left running, and normally it's a good full drivers. I mean, in a big meeting, even you can have more cars in that than the final. In the past,
yeah.
You could have a 30 car final, and you have a 40 car Grand National. So it's not been unknown in some formulas. So we'll sadly we can't get those numbers on here with the lobbies. It'd be great to see 30 car finals and 40 car Grand Nationals, but sadly that is impossible.
Yeah, I mean, my thought when I was growing up watching Grand Nationals, I always used to think the Grand Nationals had been put in to give a race, because basically I've grown up at Wharton Stock Car Club.
Yeah.
And the ones who won the heats won the finals. It always seemed to be the same driver, unless... I mean, you got the odd race where, or the odd class where there was 3 or 4 drivers in with a chance of winning, but usually, each season, you'd have one driver who was dominant. And the Grand Nationals, I always thought were a race, because they started the winner of the final lap down, where you was guaranteed someone else winning the Grand National.
Yeah, that's not,
although
it's not
you did get the odd Grand National where the final winner won it a lap down. But
yeah, that's rare.
Yeah,
I grew up a lot around Brisca and around the tracks watching the hot stocks, F1s, F2s, and other formulas alike. And I think with Grand Nationals, I think sometimes you do get the lower grade drivers. Maybe they don't have the facilities of one of the red tops, with likes of scales and things like that to get the car dialed in. So they use heats 1 and the consolation and the final possibly to get the car set up. By the time the Grand National rolls around, the car's dialed in and ready to go. They've done the meetings testing, and they'll go out. And there was a year when we were racing, it was like that. And luckily things have changed, and we tend to get a car that's near or thereabouts when you go, but not so much. But when we used to go, it was by the Grand National comes around, the car was flying, but the heat, it was horrendous. So I think it's quite an interesting one, really, because you can judge it a lot more, I think, with the Grand National.
Definitely. So just before this race starts, we have made contact with Jim. Unfortunately, his microphone's broken, which is why he's not joined us in the commentary box. But he would like to pass on that it's a great honour for him to win the Memorial Final tonight, the first time it's been run. So yeah, he'd like to pass on his thanks to everyone watching, and as I mentioned, that it's a great honour for him to win the special trophy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it is. It's all. He'll be happy to take that one home, and it was a good win for him as well. I think probably as we get started on this one, a bit of
gone, but I think Sleeman has I don't know what's happened here.
They seem to have stopped.
The drivers set off when my clock hit 50, but only some of them. Matty Trazzy's racing off in the lead there. I think he'll be as confused as me and you, to be honest with you, because my clock definitely hit 50 there when they all set off. It'd be interesting to see what they do here. I'm sure the drivers will be communicating with each other as they can do, obviously, with this being...
The issue is Matty is now a lap up.
Yeah, and Jumbo is trying to start a lap down, I think, because obviously he won the final. Sleeman has gone.
I think this looks like it's going to be a complete restart from what I see.
Yes, it's looking that way, isn't it? So I think what we're going to have to do...
Yeah, it's going to be a complete restart, this one, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, because the host has gone. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. I will set up the lobby. Unless
Richard's just got... He might have gone to go sort it out.
He quit out, unfortunately, so that's going to have ended that lobby. So, yeah. It's feeling like a longer meeting than last week, this. I do apologise to those watching. But we'll get this underway as soon as we can. Few teething problems, I think, with some of the newer drivers.
So as we just wait for the all-comers, I think this has been a fantastic meeting. I look forward very much to next week. Do we know where next week's gold roof is backed?
They're running that around the Big Valley Inner Oval. Last meeting's final, of course, won by... last time they ran at the Big Valley Inner Oval was won by Craig Thompson, of course.
Yeah, that was that meeting was also chaos as well.
It was, yeah. Obviously, for the World Final, the faster drivers will already be at the front. Not necessarily the faster drivers. The ones higher up the points will already be at the front, so they won't have the problem of having to try and catch the others up.
No.
So we'll just try and get these back in. But we'll do a full rundown of the drivers that have qualified for that next week, and we'll probably start a little bit earlier next week just so we can go through them all, where they're starting, and give people an idea of who to look for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you've already got some champions there. Obviously, you've got Luke Smith with British champion, if I can get my words out. Don't worry, I've not had that many beers. And obviously you've got Sean Bowman with European. So we've had two different championship winners so far, so we're interested to bring home the gold. Obviously the real life world champion is Ollie Spencer, so I'm sure he'll be more than wanting to try and make it a back-to-back and to take the win in the virtual world as well as the real world.
You'd think so, yeah. I think you'll find that fairly tricky. We're going to just turn off the reverse limiter so that Jim can get round to the back. So I think we're just missing Sleeman to get this one underway, and my co-commentator needs to jump in as well. We'll just send him a quick invite.
I'm just loading
You
up now.
join him? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just loading up. So it won't be a second. So we're just waiting for myself to get in here, get into the track. Won't be a second. So we're all ready now, I think. Sleeman's in as well. So some good drivers in this one. Thomas Andrews, Ashley Cross, Liam Rose, final winner Jim Slatter will be starting from a lap down in this one. Gillian Bullock as well. Matty Traz, the newcomer in this one. And Richard Sleeman. Some good form from Matty Traz tonight, as has Ashley Croft. We've not seen much of Richard Sleeman. He goes well at the start and seems to take himself out, which is a shame. As Thomas Andrews has been one that we haven't seen much of tonight down the field of the grid, so interesting to see we have a different winner in this one.
Yeah, I think obviously we're going to see Jim starting a lap down, so it'd be impressive if he does manage to catch them up from a lap down. And like you said, Thomas Andrews has definitely got the speed. It's just whether he can stay away from the action, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Matty Traz has shown some good speed as well. He was third for most of the final in that one, so I look forward to see his form in this one.
So we're up to 8 seconds left to go. You can see Jumbo there, he's on the outside, so he's a lap down. They're about to go, and they should be off this time, and it looks like we have a proper start.
Thomas Andrews with a fantastic start there.
With Jim going the wrong way around the track, that's going to count him as a lap down. That's what we're hoping anyway. Fingers crossed he doesn't go across the line this time and end up in the lead.
No, hopefully not.
And he's not done, which is good news. So we're all okay.
Looks like it's worked. So Richard Sleeman out in front then with Liam Rose in second. He's broke through the blues quickly. Matty Traz, the yellows have been coming together from a few of the drivers. Ashley Croft, Gillian Bullock, and Thomas Andrews again. No luck again. Comes together on the back straight, which is put him down in 6th place. So Ashley Croft, also down in 5th there, is struggling to get going in this one.
Yeah, Sleeman a nice lead though out in front. Liam Rose is hunting him down in second, and Liam Rose did go quite well in one of the heats, didn't he? Or was it the all-comers? Just find my results.
Matty Traz is rolling in on turns 1 there, but he's still currently in
Crofts,
third.
The lad who led the final for so long, is already been lapped by the leader and passed by Jim Slatter.
Yeah, he seems to be back to his form he had in the heat. He had no luck in the heat. Good form in the consolation and really fast in the final, and then seemed to let it all slide in this one. So as we come down to the last few, we've got 10 laps remaining in this one so far, I believe. Fairly split at the moment with only 7 runners.
Jim back up to 5th place at this stage, having started a lap down. Oh, Jim on the back straight there, sideways. He's just been taken by Sleeman, so Jim now a lap down again. That just goes to show, really, that this track, it's not all about all-out speed. It's a little bit of luck tied in there, but also just keeping nice and smooth and steady. Matty Traz going slow on the back straight there. That's interesting. I'm not sure what's gone on there. It's almost like his car's gone into autopilot. Oh, he's spun out the leader though.
He took Sleeman out, but is that going to be enough for Liam Rose? And
Liam Rose is also stopped though on the same corner.
Liam Rose is nowhere to be seen there. That's allowed him to get away. But I do believe that allowed Jim Slatter to overtake him. So I do believe Jim Slatter could be on the lead lap now.
Possibly, yeah. He's into fourth either way. I mean, I don't think he's going to catch the lead, and not unless there's some sort of miracle. But he'll be happy to. Oh, Sleeman's gone, just as I said. Again, commentator's curse.
Liam Rose coming down the home straight on the charge.
On his roof, we can see Liam Rose in the background. He's been put in by Gillen, but he has taken the lead. And we're on board Thomas Andrews, who now comes through into second place, looking to put that bad luck behind him. And Jim Slatter, having been lapped by Sleeman, is now ahead of him.
Jim Slatter absolutely ruined as he went into turn 3, just went straight through him. It's a good way to stop him going. Thomas Andrews in second place, going really well there. He nearly just come together with Gillian Bullock on the home straight.
He's going very nicely.
Yeah, we're on with 5 laps remain in this one now. Liam Rose a bit screwly, as is Thomas Andrews.
Oh, Thomas Andrews has lost it. Back onto his wheels. That's allowed Jim, though, through into second place from a lap down. And now, you'd have to say Jim is the favourite for this one, I think, in second place. We know Liam's fast, but Jim's coming from a lap down.
Yeah, definitely. I think I think Liam Rose has got his work cut out in this one. He's going to need 4 very comfortable laps now. Has he got enough? I mean, from Jim's speed, I don't think he has. I think
no. I mean, take the jumps out, and it's Jim's all day. But how they get over these jumps? Oh, there's one on Oppo there, Evan Gillen Bullock. I don't know whether he was on Oppo or whether he was just trying to turn round. Either way,
that's allowed.
To the lead.
That's allowed your Memorial Final winner to take the lead in the Grand National.
From a lap down.
Sleeman's now back up to second place. Jim Slatter now looking very comfortable in first place there as he comes to take the 2-lap board from the starter there. And Liam Rose has managed to make his way back up now to second. There's a lot of shuffling around. It's like musical chairs on these places. I don't know what's going on. You just can't seem to pick up there. I look at the board next minute, the change again. I'm going, what's going on? Someone keeps shuffling it.
Yeah, it's carnage. I mean, we said before the meeting that the top 3 in the points were pretty much decided, but with Jim taking a final and a Grand National from a lap down, and I think Terry had a decent race in the first one, but barring that, I don't think he scored many points. And it'd be interesting to see the points when they're updated. He does take the win.
Jim just takes the win there, so he'll be very, very happy with that. And Liam Rose comes to take second place, and as does Thomas Andrews there in third. I'm sure he'll be happy with that finish there. A nice podium finish for him. Richard Sleeman coming home in 4th place. Marty Traz coming home in 5th. And last car running will be Ashley Croft. And Gillian Bullock failed to finish this one. So Jim Slatter, I mean, going into next week, I mean, he's definitely the favourite, I would say. To win final and then all comers, you can't really not say he isn't, is he?
He's definitely the form man, isn't he? Definitely the form man.
But obviously, when, like you say, when you look at the form, who's had the form there previously, and it was Greg Thompson. So I think when we move to Big Valley next week for the gold race, I look forward to that one, and I think we may see a surprise winner because likes of Jim Slatter, he's got a big target on his head after tonight. I mean, everyone knows he's quick, but he's just shown that even more tonight. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, like you said, when somebody is that quick, does it put a target on them?
Definitely. You know, pretty certain he's going to be near the front. Obviously, we haven't had a confirmed grid through yet, but we've got a good idea, and he will be near the front. And if you're the guy behind him, will you think about using the bumper? I know I would.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been in a closed grid myself, and knowing that the car in front is much quicker than me, and the plan was first corner to get rid of him. It didn't work for me, but you sort of know if you let them go, and I think this might be it for heat for the second all comers. Oh, Gaz has just joined us there. So yeah, I mean, you sort of think, well, you kind of have to maybe get rid of them at first corner when they're that much quicker than you.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously, for the one that's doing the getting rid of, often doesn't work well for you either, does it?
No, it doesn't. No.
So you're kind of hoping somebody else is going to do it. Okay, so I think we're all ready.
So.
Oh, we've missed Richard. I knew there was one that we'd completely forgotten there. How could we forget Richard? I'm gonna have to check my list here and make sure everybody's in who should be in. There seems to be more in here than than there was in the first heat. I think this is it now. I think we're all in and ready to go. I think we are anyway. The two others ready up.
I think we're just waiting on Ollie and Gaza there. We should be getting going. So we're just waiting to get going. Hopefully we'll be going very soon.
Okay, I think we're in. The drivers will drive around again to sort out the grip positions. Whoops. I'll end up spinning out Richard Smith. That's not a clever idea from the pace car.
Right, so we look to get ready in this one. So as they're all raring to go.
Raring to go.
Adam Barrett
off
leads
pole.
the way, and he's off. So Gareth Davis there in second, Craig Thompson As he's stuck on his side on the back straight there. He hasn't got much luck with these jumps tonight. So we've got Gareth Davis out in front. We've also got Ollie Holmes in second place there. He's on the charge there. And it's
Gaz has lost
Davis.
it.
Gareth Davis has lost it there at the home straight. And that's allowed Ollie Holmes to lead the way.
Yeah, again in that underpowered Star Beast, just taking his time. And out there by himself at the moment. But Matt Barnard's come all the way from Red Top, currently up to second place.
Yeah, Matt's shown some good form tonight. He's not had many good places, but he had really good form in the heat, if you remember right.
He did, yeah, and I mean he's always quick, Matt. It's just whether his luck holds out, I found with Matt.
Yeah, definitely.
Luke Smith up into third place. That's good form from the British champion. Hot Rod Gaza, having led it, is now a lap down. So fortune has just changed so quick here at this track.
He's not having much luck there at all, is he?
No. I've been very impressed with Ollie's style of driving tonight. It's very smooth, very steady. I quite like his paint job as well, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a nice looking car, and it's nice to see a different type of car as well, actually.
It is, yeah. So this comes round the turns 3 and 4. Matt Barnard nowhere to be seen in the distance. Tyres absolutely everywhere on the track. Do tyres affect you when you're driving on this game, Sean?
I don't believe they do. Too much. Not as bad as some games have done in the past, so don't think we have to worry too much about them.
No.
I don't know if you have much problems with them.
No, I think the only time you notice them is when they're in a stack. They do slow you down, but once they're out, like you can see now, you can run over them. They're not going to cause you any problems. Obviously, in real life, if you hit a tyre like that, you'd be on your roof. And we can see Matt Barnard's now through up, shooting past Ollie there into first place. Is Ollie going to try and come back at Matt on this next corner? I don't think he's going to be close enough.
Yeah, I think Ollie needs to go to the same engine builder as Matt, because Matt is absolutely flying. That engine is at full charge to come down the back straight. Ollie is smooth, but just doesn't seem to have the pace on these long straights.
No, he's losing it every time on the straights, isn't he? And Matt's going over the jumps with a little bit of swagger. Looks like he's possibly putting his CV in for the red arrows there, the way he's flicking that back end out over the jumps. There he goes again, look at that. Oh, he's got it slightly wrong this time though. Ollie back into the lead.
As he just tried to activate the red smoke there, he cropped it up.
Oh, Craig Thompson's put him in the wall. Craig Thompson says, I'm having none of your tricks, mate. You're going in the wall.
And it's nice to
he's
see
now through
Craig
into
Thompson.
first place.
Craig Thompson out in front now. That's a good find. There he goes. And he thought, I'll have a bit of red arrow, better action. And that's allowed Ollie Holmes back up. I do believe, Twisty, that's a 10 for me, that was. What a pirouette. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. We got that right on camera down the back straight there. The cameraman are really earning the dough.
Well done there, Craig Thompson. But we get back to the results now as we get away from the showboat in there. With, Matt Barnard out in front again. He's a good battle from Matt Barnard and Ollie Holmes. Ollie Holmes has got back up front. He made a big hit on Matt Barnard.
I think Matt Barnard came in for the hit on Ollie there. I think Matt's idea was to try and move Ollie out the way, but it backfired big style, and Matt nearly ended up on his roof. Still 2 laps to go. Matt will catch him back up here, as long as he doesn't roll it.
Matt just put himself in the wall on the back straight, and that's allowed Craig Thompson back up to second. And here comes Luke Smith out of nowhere, your British champion in third place. So Ollie Holmes, with 2 laps remain, has got it all to play for in this one. He just needs to keep it calm and collective. A little bit sketchy coming over the jumps there. He's a good line as he comes down onto the home straight to take the last lap board. I personally think he's got this one in the bag, but I don't want to speak too soon as he's started passing some back markers. And he's got Richard Smith right in front of him. He's someone you've got to be wary of. Matt Barnard just took Craig Thompson out there out of third place. And here comes Ollie.
Terry is wrecked down there in 8th. That could affect the points. But Ollie is going to take home a famous victory. Going across the line, Craig Thompson celebrating their 2 wheels, but he is a lap down.
Now who we're going to see in second? Is it going to be Luke Smith? And I think it's going to be Luke.
It's not a particularly nice looking car that he's come across the line in, but it is the second place car.
Matt Barnard also coming home in third place. Craig Thompson coming home in fourth. Richard Smith coming home in fifth. And we're just waiting for Gareth Davis. And I've lost my train of thought.
Adam Barrett is
there
coming home in 7th. Terry unfortunately will be coming off the track on the back of the tractor. So yeah, we'll move on to the team races. I think we're going to do the whites and yellows team race first. So we'll jump across to that lobby. We're being helped out by Sleeman tonight, who's sorting the lobbies out. So we'll jump across to that lobby and let the drivers know. Okay, so drivers have now been told that, so we'll also head across.
So a good win there.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with that, and I think I mean he's had the consolation tonight and the all-comers, and you'd have to say he's deserved it, really.
Yeah, definitely in an underpowered car. He's definitely impressed me. It's a shame that he's not he's not come into the series earlier on. Coming so late on, it's unlikely to see him in the World Final next week. Obviously, we don't know the full grid yet. He's had some good places tonight, but whether that's probably not enough, but we will see. But I think definitely around here, it definitely seems to suit his driving style of smooth and steady. Wins the race.
Definitely. I don't think that tactical work next week at the Big Valley Inner Oval. That's very much a flat-out track, but I think he's had a good night tonight.
Yeah, I'd be proud of that. I think you can go brag about that one. There's not many drivers who can say first time out and they get a couple of wins under the belt. So
no, definitely,
it doesn't happen often.
Okay, so we'll try and get these whites and yellows in as soon as we can. We're on the home stretch, guys. Please stick with us.
So we're just waiting now for the drivers to join. And as we just get ready.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously a team race, Sean. We've seen a few of these over the weeks now. What are you expecting from this one?
It can be hit and miss, but it also can be a carnage, depending on who's in it. I'm guessing Mr. Richard Smith's in this one.
He is booked into this one, yeah. Whether
We normally
Hopefully
see
he'll get across.
he's normally at the foremost of the action.
Yeah, quite a few of these drivers have gone offline. So what we will try and do is get them all in. If they don't all come in, then we might try and get everyone in for all in one.
That'd be good to see, and it'd be nice to see it and all if that's all we've got left. If we've got enough left, we'll just see. I think a few drivers are loaded up a few beaten race cars tonight. Just a bit too much work for the mechanics. Possibly a few drivers saving their car for the Gold Roof next week.
Possibly.
So,
Just chuck a kick vote on that one, just so the host knows to get rid.
don't forget if you want to see that next week, make sure you tune in around. Are we saying 8:30 next week, Mr. Twist? 8:30, 9 o'clock.
8:30 is when we'll start the coverage. The racing should start from 9 o'clock. Obviously, don't forget tomorrow night on the PlayStation 4 side of things, they'll be racing same track. And the host has just started this. We're just going to have to get in touch with him and maybe get everyone in this one. Yeah, so the PS4 lot will be racing at 8 o'clock, I believe.
Right, okay. Fantastic. But remember, if you want to see any more information about that, make sure you go on Facebook and find Brisca V8 Hot Stocks page, and all the information on there is for the stream, as is for the link for tomorrow's stream for the PS4, and as will be more information for the Gold Roof race for next week. So make sure you all keep an eye on that.
So I just had word off the boss that next week they'll be looking to do an 8:30 start. So we might start a bit earlier, but obviously, as Sean's mentioned, keep an eye on them Facebook pages and all the information will be there.
Yeah, definitely make sure you give that a like and get everyone. And if you've got any friends that you think would like to watch and cheer a driver on for next week, make sure you get them involved and get them watching it, because more people the better for next week. We want a big crowd ready for next week around Big Valley Inner Oval. It's been home to some big races so far this year, as we've seen. So to see what these guys can do.
Definitely, and obviously it's great that these guys have taken the time to run on a Saturday night to give us fans something to watch, and so it'd be great for us to show up next Saturday and support these guys and see how they get on. Hopefully now we're seeing that some of the lockdown measures are being eased. I think it's going to be some time before we can actually get back to racing, but it feels like we're on the home stretch, doesn't it?
Yeah, hopefully. I think it's going to take time. I think there are things we're going to have to do. I mean, there are, as race fans may have seen, there has been talks of practice days within the ORCI, and I've been reading some of the information this evening before tonight's meeting. So, there are chances for drivers to get chance behind closed doors. Sadly, obviously no spectators, be minimal people involved. It's going to be a driver and mechanic only, so it won't be a whole family going for obvious reasons. But it's a step in the right direction, definitely. And if they can get that working, and hopefully we can maybe move forward and finally get the racing back and get that smell that smell and noise and atmosphere that we all love back as we were on about last week. That's just what I miss the most. It's not just the racing; it's the whole package. So as we just waiting for a few more to join in this one, I think we're nearly ready. What, 15 in this one?
Yeah, I'm just counting the numbers at the moment. The
I just watched myself as well.
We had too many blues. We had too many blues, so I asked one of the blues to change to red, and now two of them have changed to red. So I'm asking one of the reds to change back to blue now. I think they've done that, so I think we're sorted. So I think we're ready to go. 5, 6. Oh!
Mr. Bullock.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
An extra at the bottom.
And that one needs to go. That one will receive a kick from everyone in the lobby.
But we do hope everyone is safe and everyone is okay.
Yeah, and when we can go back racing, when we can go back watching, very important that people obviously do it safely, but get out there and support your local tracks, support the different formulas that race, and
yeah, definitely
try and keep this great sport going.
Yeah, I mean we are in a time where sadly we are losing tracks, and we have spoke about before that, you know, one day, we hope it never comes, that this is we all have left.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully it comes to that. So, you know, one thing I've learned from this this lockdown and everything is that when you think to yourself, can I be bothered going to that meeting? Yes, I can be bothered going to that meeting, because you never know, there might not be many more to go to. So we've got to think of it like that, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think
as we're underway in this one,
Terry and Jim out in front, both on the red team. You'd have to think that's it's going to be difficult for the blue team to stop these two flyers out front. Terry is in the lead with Jim behind him. I'm sure Jim is very tempted to put his points rival in, but he hasn't done. And Jay Crofts is in third. That's a strange looking car from Jay Crofts. That's not one of the ones on the list, is it? What's that he's racing?
It's a Nexus RX.
Yeah.
I do believe they're allowed to change cars for the teams. I did see that
right.
At some point. So it's an interesting car choice.
It's working for him though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a little 1300 stock car, though.
Yeah, it's based on a Honda. I'm trying to think of the name off the top of my head. CRX, I think it is.
I was just about to say a CRX. Yeah, it looks that way.
For some reason, I had NSX in my head. I don't know, it's not a supercar. Come on, Sean, but get your head together. So, as we've seen on this track, on the back straight, there's cars everywhere. Matt Barnard upside down, Craig Thompson upside down. Craig Thompson's involved in there as well. Matt Traz has just gone upside down. No surprise to see Thomas Andrews also involved down there as well.
We've got the leaderboard up on the left there. You can see we've got blue in first place, red second and third, and then blue fourth and fifth. So this is looking like being the closest team battle we've had yet, and I don't think we're going to know the final result on this one until the final car has crossed the line.
Yeah, definitely. This could be a very close one. So we're just seeing what it's very close.
Ollie Holmes through into second place, another blue team member, and his good form round here continues.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how we see him get on at other tracks. Because he's shown some fantastic form here.
Possibly he'll get himself a bit of sponsorship this week for his good performance. Maybe get himself an upgraded engine ready for next week. We could see him being one of the chargers from the back of the grid.
There's a good chance that when he's picked up a good amount tonight. Whether it'll be enough, we'll see.
So Ashley Cross goes across the line as your winner. but we're going to have to keep an eye on the back markers here to see who else picks up places. We're on board with Jim Slatter, who's down in 7th, possibly been doing some of the crashing.
It looks like the blue team might have done enough. They took the top 3.
They have, but as the next positions are all red, so as they go across the line, their points are going to tally up. So we try and jump on board with some of them.
Just 10
Craig in
points
8.
behind.
He goes across, that makes it 2:02. I think it's going to be a blue win. What have we got? So Craig hasn't actually finished yet. Time has got 17 seconds left on it. I think we can safely say at this point the Blues have won it, but the closest team battle we have seen throughout this.
Yeah, definitely. That was a close one there. But the main tour there was Jim Slatter and Terry Hawkins, who were battling for the points. Both in the same
both
team.
Both picking
there,
up 0 points there.
So no points there for them. And I do believe that is it for tonight.
Yeah, so I think that's it. And I think we will probably leave it there. And what we'll try and do before next week is get an interview with some of the drivers in the build-up to the Gold Roof. And see how they're feeling for it. Because, I mean, we're up to nearly 2 hours for tonight, so we don't want to keep the drivers any longer. And, of course, the spectators any longer. No. But obviously next week we'll get started a bit earlier. Get this build-up for the Gold Roof. Any predictions at this stage, Sean? Are you going to stick your neck out on the line and pick anyone?
It's hard to say. I mean, we've looked at previous, like as I said earlier. I mean, Craig Thompson, previous form around there, but really good form tonight for Jim Slatter. Was really impressed by his form tonight, and I can't fully remember what his form like around there was like. I don't think it was spectacular, if I remember rightly. So we will interesting to see, and we'll look through the stats. I'd probably say I'm gonna say Craig Thompson on the basis of his previous win, but it's sort of hit and miss because they're both targets. I think Craig could be an interesting driver, and Jim being so quick, we'll be interested to see. Anyone you think?
Well, like you, I'm trying to think back to the form. I don't think Jim's slow on any track, but I think he struggled getting through the traffic last time on Big Valley in a oval. I think one driver that did do well from Reds last time is Matt Barnard, and he's going to be starting, we think, second row inside.
Good place to start.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best places to start in any gridded final. So I think if I was going to bet on anyone, it'd be him at this stage, but I think it is anybody's race.
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of in the top 10 to start with. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to commentating on it, and it's a track where we'll be able to see all of the track. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, thank you very much for sitting with me tonight, Sean, and going through it all.
Not a problem. Thank you much for the invite, and hopefully you want me back for next week.
We'll have you back for next week, definitely, mate. Yes, definitely.
Fantastic.
So, thank you all for turning up and watching tonight's special meeting, and we shall see you all next Saturday. It's not letting me turn my broadcast off.